So, what happens when you order 007 from Wish.com? Well, you get something like Blackbird, the quintessential Bond-esque movie. It's got everything. It's got the secret agent man, the slanted hats and weird angles for some reason. It's written by Michael Flatley, directed by Michael Flatley, produced by Michael Flatley, starring, of course, Michael Flatley. The studio behind this is Narcissistic Ego Productions. This smooth agent has a way with words.
Who I am is none of your concern, and what I do is out of your control.
Clean up on aisle 5.
His intelligence is unmatched, and at times he looks kind of constipated, or maybe he thinks this is how movie stars should act. This movie is what happens when you're inspired by threat level midnight.
You jump to the right and you shake a hand, and you jump to the left and you shake that hand. You meet new friends, you tie some yarn, and that's how you do the scone.
So to explain who Michael Flatley is, he's actually a tap dancing extraordinaire who created and starred in Lord of the Dance. This show has grossed up to $1 billion. This has made him a multi-millionaire, which has created the urge to go from this to making a movie. And I get it, making a movie for the first time can be nerve-wracking. But not Michael Flatley. Oh no, he's done his homework, taking inspiration from the 3 films he watched: Casino Royale, Casablanca, and the Oscar-winning Threat Level Midnight. In this film, Michael plays Victor Blakely, codenamed Blackbird. After the death of his fiancée at the hands of some random terrorists, he leaves the agency and opens a hotel/jazz club in the Caribbean called the Blue Moon, which is totally not ripping off Casablanca here. He even has a friend called Sam. And then we have the villain, played by Eric Roberts. Dude, what are you doing in this movie? Were you hard up for cash? Anyway, he's an arms dealer who arrives at the hotel with his fiancée Vivian, who is also Victor's old love interest. The plot involves some sort of USB device that could potentially kill a lot of people or something like that. That's 90% of the plot right there. So allow me to walk you through this riveting film. It begins with stock footage of Ireland and ominous thriller music being played in the background. We then cut to a mansion. That's Michael's mansion in real life. What a show off. And here's the man himself, showing the viewers his stellar acting. I have never seen a person so unconvincing as him stand by a window. And then we cut to his liver-spotted hand touching a young woman. That is some rapist-level eye contact right there. Of course, this is all a flashback as we're at a funeral. It's raining, moody, and there's no dark clouds in the sky. And the sun is out. What the hell kind of weather anomaly is this? I think we found a baffling mystery in this film. We then have some shots of the depressed cast. Either it's because someone died, or they're sad about their choice to be in this film.
There's no one like him. He's irreplaceable. No one can do what he does.
Wait, he's a government agent, or in this case, former agent, with extraordinary fighting skills, gets praise from his colleagues on how he's the best like no one ever was, and he always gets the ladies. Oh man, not only he took his inspiration from 007, but also Steven Seagal, of all people.
Like some special forces guy or something.
I'm just a cook. Lowly cook.
Back to Double Tap 7, yeah, we get it, he's sad, judging from the tilted fedora he's wearing. I swear, mathematics were involved in the geometric portion of adjusting any hat he wears. Here is where we're introduced to cliché love interest, and wow, we're going for the stretched out hand on window. That is some stellar acting. Well, Victor here decides to walk off while his buddy hoses him down with water on a sunny day. And check this out, the rest of the walkway is dry, but it's only raining on Victor himself. Amazing.
All I wanted was to start a family with my beautiful wife. But somewhere along the way, things got messed up.
The movie cuts to London. The music begins to pick up. Something intense is about to happen. This fella here is comically being trailed by a trio of bad guys here, who are literally a few feet behind him in a not-so-subtle way. I wonder if he notices them. These guys must be tap dancers because look how in sync their walking is. Now that is some attention to detail. The man hits a dead end. Oh no, he's cornered. Luckily, this married man with 3 kids loves his life so much that he...
I'd rather die.
Okay. Well, at least the USB was handed off to this lady. Wow, this USB device must be so important. I care so much for it. We then scoot on over to the Caribbeans at the Blue Moon. Check this bartender out. It seems like he can't wink properly. It's like watching an alien trying to act human.
Me too, your leader. Oh, wait, I am your leader.
Anyway, the people are enjoying themselves while our man is getting dressed. Yeah, this is some Casino Royale double tap 7 look right there. Victor here has a moment with his buddy Nick.
You want a drink, sweetheart? I thought you'd never ask.
True bromance right here, folks. After closing time, they get together with the young women. Young women who are probably the same age as his granddaughter. He does this weird headbutt thing with Nick. Why? Maybe to cement their bromance? We then find ourselves in the jungle where some baddies are doing bad things. This guy is breathing rather hard. It seems due to the budget constraints, they had to hire aliens for this film. It seems these characters are also after the USB. Everyone is after the USB. There's gotta be something important on it. Maybe it's a PDF file for a script written by Steven Seagal for the greatest movie never made. Or maybe it's an adult film video with better acting than this movie. It's the next day and our masculine protagonist is carrying a tiny teacup, something no other man can do and still look manly doing it. So Eric Roberts arrives, and I have to say, Nick here just doesn't look presentable. I mean, come on, man, you're running a hotel and you look like a hobo. God, I can smell the alcohol off of him. Meanwhile, at the local church, our man changed into another set of clothes, because when you're about to meet Jeebus Crust, you got to look your best. The sin he needs to confess is his fashion sense. And he has another change of clothes with another tilted hat. Here is where he meets up with his love interest.
We feared you were dead.
Well, part of me at least.
Oh, so edgy. You could cut the sea air with a spoon.
I'm gonna cut your heart out with a spoon!
We then get a scene of him applying shaving cream before breaking the fourth wall. It looks like he's thinking about running for the 2024 presidential race. Back in London, it's the secret agency's boss, and he thinks Eric Roberts is evil, which he is.
We must get Victor involved.
But sir, he won't.
Get Victor.
It's the president. He needs you for a mission.
Tell him I'm retired.
It's Golden Face.
Meanwhile, back at the hotel, we get this Goodfella-esque shot of the place and other roaming shots before our playboy villain and his fiancée shows up. Double Tap 7 is having none of it. He casually walks up to her and starts the mambo dance. He even finishes off the dance with the weird head rub thing. I guess it's his signature move. He probably got the idea from Borat. So the main villain just sits there like some old dementia-ridden patient at a retirement home, drinking his lukewarm cup of tea. The staff get together for a meeting. This is where we find out about the USB.
Secret society of war criminals called the Crusading Revolution.
The Crusading Revolution. What, is that supposed to be this film's Spectre?
The formula repairs and strengthens the immune system. A world without pain or disease. However, alter one component and it has the opposite effect. It can decimate the local population.
So not only can the formula help the immune system, but also kill people? Okay. It's never really explained what is the formula, or who created it, or how it got stolen.
It's called ridding the world of so-called undesirables.
Because when your shitty movie lacks substance, just add Nazis.
What's your point, Nick?
I love his reaction. You got a weapon that could kill millions, and he's like, yeah, what's your point? What does this got to do with me? Can I tap dance my way out of this one? Of course, Victor will have none of this. I know how you feel, Nick. The plot makes me want to slam my head onto a table. Our hero is having a drink when this woman comes into his room and takes off her clothes in front of him. Thankfully, we're spared the sex scene between this young woman and this wrinkly old man. Nick wants to pursue the matter, but he gets told to stop it.
Nick, stop it! Nick, stop it!
Hey, stop it.
Check this out. In the middle of this argument, he changes hats on the fly. There's no way a man can have an argument and change hats like that, but Michael Flatley is a god amongst mere mortals. Meanwhile, Eric Roberts is on a boat.
We got booze. We got incredibly sexy women.
I think he's actually drunk.
I find I find I always work better under pressure.
Okay, I have a hard time believing that Eric Roberts, a seasoned actor, improvised that scene of him acting goofy, which means it's actually part of the script, and that Michael Flatley thinks that this is character development. Victor is walking on the beach with Vivian while holding his tap dancing shoes. His manly walking is about as good as his acting. We then get this weird dialogue where the writers are hitting you with words over and over again.
We were engaged. Inevitably, they did find out. It was the worst mistake I've ever made. I can't get past this, Viv. Nearly 10 years.
What about now? You can't go on living without love.
Sure you can. Just ask any incel. Okay, what is with that face? Is he constipated? Or was he holding in a fart? Back at the hotel, Nick intercepts Vivian to say something off of his chest,
I said what needed to be said.
which causes her to look through the briefcase, and lo and behold, the USB, which was found in 2 seconds in plain sight. We then get this supposedly intense scene where it looks like Vivian is about to get caught, but no, she only runs off. Meanwhile, Victor here is posing for one of his great lines.
Look, I found this in his briefcase.
This holds the formula. It can kill millions of people.
Wait, this is the first time he's seen the thing, and immediately he knows what it is? Sharp bastard. Or maybe he just said the line to make himself sound smarter. And her reaction to this is to half smile and half look distressed at the same time, going on like, oh, do I look cute here? I never thought I would be critiquing a kissing scene, but here we are. You mean to tell me this 60-something-year-old guy has never kissed a woman before in his life? His idea of kissing is what every 8-year-old would think on how kissing is like. You just push your mouth onto another person's face and forcefully rub your face against them. He then gives it to Sam, telling him to make a copy of it.
Make a copy of this.
I guess copy the formula onto another USB drive? Alright folks, we're introduced to the centerpiece of the film. The scene that Casino Royale had inspired, where the two characters finally meet.
I believe it's time we're formally introduced. My name is Blake.
Molyneux, yes, I know.
Splendid. You met my fiancée, Vivian?
I have.
Yeah. So it seems.
Wow, the back and forth, the wit, the sophistication, truly a scene for the ages. We then get the Casino Royale poker scene, where they try to figure each other out.
Unfortunately for you, who I am is none of your concern, and what I do is out of your control.
You are a washed-up, failed secret agent, masquerading as a nightclub owner.
Oh man, you got called out. So he folds.
Fold.
But wait, he has a plan.
I buy hospitals and build schools for the poor. How does that make you feel? You should feel embarrassed.
Oh man, I'm starting to feel bad for this old loser. Meanwhile, Sam here is just milling about until one of the goons corners him. Take a guess what happens to him next. Back at the table, Eric here is just laying into him, going for the jugular.
Your fiancé's death caused you to retire.
I think Threat Level Midnight did it better, though.
Catherine, don't die on me!
How's your wife doing?
No!
However, our hero strikes back with...
I wonder which you love more. Women, money, or playing God.
Straight flush, 9 through to king.
Oh snap, hit him with the straight flush. I don't understand poker at all. After that, Victor finds his buddy dead. He also finds both the original USB and a spare that the formula was supposed to be copied on before Sam was killed. Wow, it's a good thing the bad guys are incompetent that they didn't bother to check his pockets. The same goon that killed Sam shows up for a fight. I just realized we're over an hour and this is the only hand-to-hand fight scene in the entire movie. That is just wow. So our man, who is 5'6", is taking on a 300-pound, 6-foot-tall goon. But of course, Double Tap has a plan. Oh man, he's got his work cut out. This woman is struggling to hold back her laughter. I think that both of them are confused and amused on how Michael's character can do a 12 combo punch and kill a guy. Yes, kill, because the bartender, who is also a licensed EM, pronounces him dead on the scene. What? From that punch? We don't even get a stabbing scene or a neck break.
Nobody beats me in the kitchen.
You win!
The next day, he visits the church, and we get this riveting scene.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned, and am about to sin again.
Wow, breathtaking. It's the kind of line that Johnny Sins would say. We get a flashback to a jungle scene where Victor's fiancée was taken to by the terrorists. He's sporting a leather jacket, which is baffling. Who the hell wears a leather jacket in the middle of a tropical jungle? Well, he blasts his way through the camp like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it's too late as she is set on fire. He has no choice but to shoot her to end her suffering. Yeah, I wish he did the same to himself to end our suffering. The singer lady shows up and tells him the bad guys have his woman, and they want the USB back. We then scoot on over to the shipyard where the finale is, and the best is yet to come because this is where most of the budget was spent, I think. All the players are here, the terrorist, our playboy villain, this guy who looks like one of Michael's tap dancing friends or someone. And so our hero arrives.
You don't look too well.
Don't worry about me, son. I'm firing on all cylinders.
Where's the formula? Don't just stand there, find out where it is.
I have never seen a main character back out of a scene so quickly. What the hell just happened? Are we to assume this bloated 60-year-old took on 3 armed goons and lived? And we didn't even get to see any of it? Come on, movie! Even Steven Seagal is all show and tell. I mean, okay, stunt doubles are used a lot in his films, but hell, at least we're seeing the action. They could shoot him right there, but nope. Instead, the villains let his woman go, and more fortune comes to his side as Nick shows up. How he knew where Victor was is anyone's guess, but wait a minute, he hands over the USB device to this guy.
So believe me when I tell you, if this is not what you say it is, I will be hunting blackbirds in the spring.
Don't make any promises you won't keep.
Oh, hard-boiled dialogue right there, in the same league as Max Payne. No, not really.
Shall we dance?
Shall we dance? Shall we dance? This is the line in the movie. The audience stood up, clapped, cheered, and cried at the same time. This movie is truly one of the movies of all times. I'm sad that this experience is about to come to an end. It's tearing me apart, but at the same time, I can appreciate the experience of watching this film. Hold on, we don't even get to see an on-screen death for the villain. I mean, he kind of falls over, implying he got shot, but this is just lame. Also, I like how none of the main characters get shot despite being outnumbered. And we cut back to the hotel. What became of our heroes? Has the Blackbird changed into a new tux? What about his hats? What angle are his hats? Well, Nick is alive, and it looks like he got shot after all. But don't worry, he's in an arm sling because that's definitely the best treatment for a bullet wound. And look at that, a young 18-year-old is leaning on him. Meanwhile, the baddies are downloading the formula, but it turns out to be 1 terabyte of shirtless tap dancing videos. The real USB is being handed off by the laughing girl to the old boss man. Yes, you can laugh now. Back in Orlean, man, look at that hat angle. It means he's one happy camper. What a finale. I don't know what to say about this movie. Actually, I do. To be honest, this movie was a bit boring. There are some parts to laugh at, scratch your head and go, why? But for the most part, it was a snooze to get through. This movie is a 10-year-old's fantasy of what the world of secret agents is like, and well, we're seeing it here. The portrayal of 007 by a constipated tap dancer is the cherry on top. This really is like Threat Level Midnight, except this movie took itself serious and failed at that. The plot makes no sense, the acting is bland, the directing is basically turning on the camera and going like, yeah, just start talking, or something. Let's compare it to another film, a legendary film, The Room. At least The Room is pretty enjoyable, and you can laugh at the bad acting.
Everybody betrayed me. I fed up with this world.
You know what? I think I'll go watch it. And Threat Level Midnight.
Scarred here.
Michael, Mr. President.
Hello, sir.
I need you for another mission.
Yeah, I'm in.